Wednesday, that's today, said the police were ready for the Saturday poll. He said the Deputy Inspector General of Police will be in charge of the election and will be assisted by an Assistant Inspector General of Police. He said the State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Badi, had been redeployed to the force headquarters by the Inspector General of Police. The police spokesperson added that 36 units of mobile police personnel were also deployed to the state for the election to ensure police neutrality in the election. You get the picture now?
Yes.
Even an IG is involved. Yes. And the one aspect of the story that excites me is the removal of the police commissioner over time. Yes. Well, you change a police commissioner that doesn't seem to be able to be in control of the state. Imo State has suffered a lot of insecurity. And of course, you know what happened to Ajero and all that.
Yes. And
so that may have led to the removal.
There's a security blunder.
Exactly. Okay.
So I've not had in any civilized country that, although you know, activists
yes.
are prone to such actions, but this indecent assault, because it's just an indecent assault. Indecent assault, you know, in a civil society, is taken to be serious security breach, and I want to hold all those officers responsible. That no matter what it takes, they are under obligation to secure his life.
Okay. To
secure his life.
That may have contributed to the problem.
Yes.
But now let's look at the election. It's the off-season election,
yes.
And 3 states are involved. Yes. And look at the weight, the magnitude, the preponderance of security presence in Imo State just for this election. Does it give a signal? Does it tell you that so much security will be seen? Election will be safe and
yes,
all that.
Of course. Even from the let go government of the existence of the present state governor, you will come to understand that Soludo, since 2022, even what Bianca was saying this morning was something concerning the illegal activities of that have taken place since 2022.
Okay.
And
this we're talking about Imo State.
Yes, and Anambra State.
We're talking about Imo State now.
Oh, yes, I'm coming. What I'm saying is that
okay.
If such events are in such environment, you know, causing a lot of fear into people's mind,
okay,
not to resist being victims of circumstances. We want to say that in Imo State, there should be peace. Because peace is the only option that can give the rightful candidate.
Okay.
If there is no peace, the rightful candidate will manipulate. But if there is peace, there's every iota of truth that people will legitimate. That's what I'm saying.
That's another aspect of this gun-wielding men, marksmen all over the place.
No.
It means that there's a possibility there's going to be trouble. Let me stay home. Is it going to contribute to voter apathy, or will it encourage people to come out and
for people to come out to exercise enough confidence in the sense that they shouldn't stay at home, they shouldn't neglect coming to exercise their right. Because if they neglect it, the people out there will use the opportunity to influence the votes. Because they cannot spend money, government cannot spend money, the people are not participating. This is people's, it's our tax money. You know what I mean? We need to exercise our right in it. Our decision is needed, of course, in this matter. So people should take it as a point of responsibility to impact in the electoral exercise.
Okay.
They should show full impact. That's what I'm saying. They should accept the fact that they have the final decision, and the final decision must come from them.
Okay.
But if they avoid coming out, then they are going to give opportunity for manipulation.
All right, manipulation.
Yes.
What about the issue of votes don't count in Nigeria because of some kind of trust deficit that we have? This trust deficit that pertains to INEC, pertains to political thuggery and manipulations and all that.
Yes, there's a belief. There's a belief here that INEC cannot be 100%. It's not possible for you to find them 100%. In certain areas, if you get 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, does that mean of the good records? Let's put it that way, of the authentic records, the other way, you might not get it the other way. That's the system that operates in this country.
Okay, so
so you won't accept in totality that it's going to be fair everywhere.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, it's going to be fair.
So INEC, a lot is expected now that it's off-season election, and of course, party representatives and the political actors, we need to be wary of the fact that the electoral governance in Imo State is something that will be different from the last general election, because the election environment is smaller, and every segment that is involved in this electoral governance appears to be fully mobilized to ensure that there will be no shoddy deals and people will come and votes will count. And most importantly for Imo State, we're talking about electoral safety. Because of the antecedents, we have a lot of security breaches over time. So this time, we should be looking at a well-secured electoral environment and an election that will produce a result that people can talk about being fair, free, safe, and what have you. And that also is a time. But let's uses alternative energy. And ethanol has been identified as a very veritable alternative energy for energy driven economy. And
of direction that the leader is giving.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. But where the leader is not actually making it very clear to the citizens, they seem to be bothered with so much of tax. With what we are seeing now, universities are even going to pay tax. It has come to that point now. That's why
they're trying to expand
of the economy.
We'll talk about that. Oh, go to Abuja. We'll look at that.
And it's becoming a striving challenge.
Okay. Now we'll look at that aspect of tax, expanding tax. Now, let's look at this. You talk about diversification of the economy, and going green is one of the ways and means of protecting the environment.
Yes.
We know that talking about depletion of the ozone, talking about the depletion of ozone, heating up of the environment, which leads to flooding. I'm interested in that technology, that green economy that they're talking about, having ethanol and other aspects. I was one of those fake news, using palm oil to drive a car.
Of course.
And so we're talking about, and then we're talking about CNG, and that is going to be a very good narrative for Nigeria. Yes. Can you give us your last
yes,
take
so
on that?
what we're saying here is that Nigeria should learn to apply technology in every aspect.
And
what technological drive is what brings about productivity.
Economic development.
It brings about productivity, builds the economy, creates jobs, and it makes creativity a tradition.
Yeah.
Creativity becomes a tradition to
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
You know, wherever you see yourself as being creative.
Innovative.
Yes, you are innovative. And that is where you become a productive sector.
Yeah.
We are building a productive sector. So we should aim at building a productive sector.
Yeah. Now I think that the issue of green economy is something that's exciting, and we're looking at that. Macron, to one of the European cities, they're all riding bicycles. Bicycle. You know, to reduce, carbon spread, in the environment. That is green economy.
Yes.
Green economy is a deliberate government policy.
Yes.
And I hope it becomes part of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. It should be.
Sure.
Let's look at what's happening in Germany with our Nigerians over there. Germany has been a safe haven for many Nigerians who are migrating. And there is bad news. Olaf Scholz, the German Chancellor, explained that no fewer than 14,000 Nigerians living in Germany attributed the spike in the number of Nigerians seeking asylum, with a great number of them without identification cards. The German Chancellor noted that approximately 12,500 Nigerians are in a condition of tolerance in Germany as a result of Nigerian government's reluctance to admit people without the necessary identity documents. Just said, unquote, because in 2023 has sparked worries. Nearly 14,000 Nigerians might be deported, and the great majority of them do not have the necessary identification cards. Also said, we are prepared to collaborate in order to enhance migration, the statement stated, adding that Germany will be happy to send back any Nigerian national who has behaved well. Those that didn't behave well will be locked up. The President Bola Tinubu underlined his administration is ready to allow people to return to those who are recognized as fellow citizens and have behaved well. I like this behave well. Because if a government is magnanimous, they can deport you properly. If they are magnanimous, you'll be arrested as an illegal alien and jailed. That is what's happening. Germany has been very magnanimous to Nigerians. Many Nigerians are in Germany, especially in schools and all that. But there are these illegal migrants or seeking asylum. You know asylum seekers? When you seek asylum, the implication is that you are not safe in your country.
Of course.
So you are seeking asylum in such Western countries. And many of them are there. 14,000 seek risk being deported.
Yes, I think the diplomatic policies of is playing the right, the right direction to achieving their policy implementations. That is to say, we are seeing a direction where people are seeking for asylum, and in the course of them seeking for asylum, if they commit offenses that are contrary to the country's domestic rules, they sanction you.
Yes, I like the word "if they behave well."
Yes, they sanction.
It tells a lot about reputation of Nigerians abroad. Most Nigerians go there and constitute nuisance, and they don't really behave well. Those who are behaving well are those who are contributing to the economy of their host country.
That's it.
And those who are legitimately doing good business. We've not had so much of negative reports in Germany. We've had in other parts of the country where wherever there is a crime, Nigerians are there and they are the ones misbehaving. So the bottom line is that when you go to a country, you obey the rules of that country and you keep the image of your country above board. That is what the implication of that if they behave well. The other one is, why seek asylum as a Nigerian? Asylum seekers are those countries that have draconian laws, that are killing their people, that are burying human rights. I don't think Nigeria has gotten to the extreme of human rights abuse that we're talking about asylum seekers. I know that most IPOD people are in Germany.
Well, if you look at the issues in the northeast and in the southeast
and northwest,
yes, and in the northwest too, in recent times, you not doubt the migration of citizens out of the country
for seeking asylum.
Yes, people seeking for asylum, people seeking for security, and others, because maybe they must have had their relations in those areas and in those places, so they would want to move in for security purposes. So in such a circumstance, I think the Nigerian women has not grown to that level, that about 12,000, 14,000 persons are in asylum. It's not a good story anyway, but we need to still give them our own share of confidence in this country.
Yeah.
To tell them that yes, they need to come back home, and stay within the altitude of their country.
Yeah.
They need not to be rushing out of the country and then suffering such devastation.
Humiliation.
So devastation. It's a devastation because you don't even have a life to live in this directive.
Exactly.
You have a life, you have a life to live.
All right, thank you very much. I think that if we have a better country without strife, a country that has lower poverty rate, poverty where the economy thrives, but where human rights are protected, where there's equality, where there's inclusion or inclusivity, not many people will be running out of the country. To the extent of seeking asylum. Asylum means that your country of origin is not conducive for you to stay. Rights are abused in conditions that are inhuman conditions. So that's not the kind of Nigeria we want. We want a Nigeria where every Nigerian will be proud to be a Nigerian. Every Nigerian will be proud to be a Nigerian to a point of becoming patriotic and not sell Nigeria out with some kind of negative narratives that we are seeing in Europe and America. But it is the duty of the government of the day to ensure that this is. And then they are sure that they are protected. I'm happy that the German Chancellor said those of them who have good behavior will be.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Atlantic Position Press Roundtable. We'll go into the next half hour to take our discussions. And the first story is coming from NEMA, flood. The National Emergency Management Agency, in collaboration with Sokoto State Emergency Management Agency, has commenced the distribution of food and non-consumables to victims. Some of the beneficiaries commended NEMA and the state government for the timely arrival of the items. Now we have NEMA. Every state has what they call SEMA. In River State we have a committee, right?
Yes.
Not SEMA. And what happens? This case,
It is a humanitarian.
yeah.
It's a humanitarian affair. And welfare also includes security welfare. And victims in such circumstances are easily given free awards by government.
Relief, yes.
Free reliefs and free awards by government to secure their the consequences.
Yes, I think that the important thing is that the relief that they are given to displaced persons and those who are affected by the devastating effect of flood. We should talk about being proactive. That is where we are now in Nigeria.
Yes, that's where we are.
Where we must ensure that we protect lives and property. We must put measures in place that are to drop relief.
Yes.
NEMA should have a proactive
Approach.
Also, collaborate with federal government. These are institutions that are, are given the responsibility
Yes.
of making sure that people don't suffer from natural disasters. So there should be proactive measures, and I should be more important.
Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Yes.
They should actually see how they can improve the policies of this sector. They should seek on how to improve people's deserve. It's very important for the citizens.
Yeah.
If Americans can take care of their citizens, I see no reason why Nigeria, they cannot take care of their citizens. So taking care of the citizen is the reason for the existence of the government. And the existence of the government is in confidence that as they are there, they must take care of the people. It's in confidence.
Yes.
So if the confidence is lost, automatically it becomes a lawless society.
Exactly. And the interesting aspect is that we have not had any state of any narrative of corruption, because no matter when it comes to palliatives, when it comes to relief materials for those who are suffering one disadvantage or the other, you hear government functionaries stealing relief materials and protests and all that. The good story is that Niger State government is collaborating with NEMA, which is a federal agency, to ensure that this relief materials are given to those who deserve them, those who have suffered. One area that I've not heard, which I hear so much from Benue State and some other countries along the Benue River and Niger Basin, who suffer from this disaster, is how they have been able to take care of farmers.
Yes.
You hear farmers who have cultivated large, acres of farmlands, losing all their crops. We have not had any story about how such farmers are being protected.
Yes, even at that, we should be thanking God a lot in Nigeria, and we should accept that God loves us. If not, the kind of devastating and tragic news that we hear from
Abroad.
Other countries. Recently, was it Afghanistan, Palestine, war, all those,
Turkey.
all those battles and all those tragic disasters, some earthquakes are not in our zone. We have not experienced it. And if it's not within our area of maybe
Geographical area.
geographical area, we should thank God all the time and know that this is the time that we work for our country. We should start restoring hope.
So you find out what they are saying there is that we don't have too much of disaster. The little ones that have,
Yes.
we should effectively,
Yes.
Protect our citizens from the after effects.
Yes, from every
If they cannot stop, at least the word mitigation is always there
it's always there.
when it comes to natural disasters.
Disaster.
And protection of farmers and their crops could come in different forms. It's not just giving them blankets, bedsheets, giving them rice and millet and all that. There should be policies that has to do with giving them crops and then providing alternative farmlands for them to cultivate crops. Because one of the after effects of these natural disasters is inflation, food inflation.
That is it.
If you look at the present inflation in the country, part of the reason is security and flooding.
And the resettlement of this disease.
Exactly.
Their resettlement,
IDPs.
because their resettlement is a key aspect that the government must take as a responsibility.
Exactly.
Because this one is a natural disaster.
Disaster.
A natural disaster, and when it comes, it does not want to know the level of damage. It just wants to do what it will do and go. So the implication is a rest on the government, giving the adequate welfare to the people. Give them food, provide water for them, give them shelter, and make sure that
Provide alternative farmlands, give them inputs.
Yes, that armed robbers do not penetrate into their camp to cause harm.
Yeah.
That's what one wants.
All right. So I think that my interest in what is happening in the north, not in many parts of the country where there is flood disaster, is the issue of resettling them and resettling their farms.
Yes.
Give them farm inputs, so that a rice farmer, for example, because those are rice bells, will not lose all his rice farms without government providing alternative farm and expanded input. Because we're talking about effect on the Nigerian economy at large. That is the narrative there that we are driving on this show. Now let's look at the next story. The Abuja Environmental Protection Board says it is determined to ensure that Abuja residents pay their waste bills. Waste bills. This is a kind of tax, right?
Yes.
Director of AEPB, O.C. Brimer, said this after a court hearing on defaulters of waste bills in Federal Capital Territory. Brimer frowned at the non-payment of waste bills by residents of FCT. He added that AEPB provides waste management services, sewage and sewage maintenance services, because we are responsible for maintaining all the treatment plants in the FCT, and this is done at an exorbitant cost. According to him, AEPB usually gives out waste bins for 12 calendar months all year round and allows the payment quarterly, though some residents complain that they find it difficult to pay the bills once. We're in the fourth quarter of the year. We are rounding off the year, so we expected the people to have paid off their bills by now. There are also some residents who have not paid their waste management bills for years, either for whatever reason. We have records. They are the people we are taking to court. These are big defaulters. Brimer said that the properties being prosecuted were banks, commercial outlets, residential buildings, and among others, as it will begin to shut down its services for those who have not paid. You know, it's funny. You know, environmental governance, waste management, and all that, it's a very big deal in urban centers. And I'm sure it's not different from Abuja. And Abuja being a federal capital territory, a lot is expected from residents. You pay for evacuation of refuse. That's what they're saying there. You pay for waste management. Government cannot do that free of charge. That is the problem. Nigerians like, freely throwing waste.
Is to make sure that there is discipline. Because in a capital territory, it is an image of the country. And if people will leave their localities and come to government residence, government official quarters, and other streets to mess up the city, giving a bad image to the country will not be allowed. I think that is the aim why we have a government, that our image must be protected. So the time has come when, if they are seeing a new drive towards paying waste bills, it's a welcome development.
To recycle. Because they collect, because waste management has to do with waste generation,
Yes.
waste collection, and waste segregation. Is put down to make sure that the relevant agency ensures that there's cleanliness in Abuja. That's what we're doing in Port Harcourt.
Our culture.
So that Abuja doesn't become like Lagos.
Yes, our culture of making our nation proud. Everybody must have to work for it. That's the system that has been applied.
Yeah. All right, let's look at this story, and very soon we trail off. The Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Yobe State Chapter, has commended indeed Governor Mai Mala Boni for paying special attention to retirees in the state to improve the welfare. As National Trustee of the Union, Alhaji Kachala Goni, said the union wishes to extend their appreciation to Governor Honorable Mai Mala Boni for approving the increase of the monthly payment gratuity from 100 million to 200 million. That's impressive. He said that he especially applauds Governor Boni for this special development, as this will reduce the fear of unknown. And after Bulana Usman said the gesture by Governor Boni would support the lives of retirees and the next of kin of deceased person.